today. My name is Michael. I'm the program producer of the 24th Biennale in Sydney. It's a huge pleasure to have you all here today. So today we're talking about one of my favourite topics, seeking attention, wearing extravagant outfits, and the political power of doing so. We have an incredible panel here to discuss it with us today, and we're very lucky to have every single one of them. So we have Jens Chung and Crystal Love Johnson, who have come to us all the way from Northern Territory. They are exhibiting artists in the Biennale of Sydney. Their work is showing at UNSW galleries. It's incredible work. It is so fun, so powerful. Next we have Mari Yanku coming to us all the way from Tokyo. Mara is an absolute legend, performance icon. We also have Zen Puri from the legendary House of Silky coming to us to speak about culture, and our lovely moderator, Blake Lawrence, has a long story and sometimes sordid history of print performance themselves. And we're also joined by fantastic Harika Bridge, who is doing translation for us today. Who's helped us out. I won't take up any more of your time. From what I've read of the panel, we're going to touch on some really juicy things, so I'll just pass it over to Blake now, and I hope you all enjoy.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mikey. I'd just like to start by acknowledging the privilege and wonder what it means for us to gather here today on a wonderful country. The Wonga people of the Eora Nation, pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging, and extend my respects to all First Nations people present in the room. None less so than our esteemed panel member, Crystal Love, icon legend. Give it up. Such a pleasure to have you here with us today, and all the panelists. Thank you for being here. I also wanted to take a moment to acknowledge material contributions made to queer performance and aesthetics of adornment from a great many visionary creators like Anonymous Kuru, Malcolm Cole, visual artist Troy Anthony Bayliss, the Dreamtime members, younger generation folks like Felicia Fox, and so many more. The themes of this panel are stealing focus, the demanding of attention, the imagining and claiming of narratives, costume, effects, materiality, community, resistance, and legacy. Thanks again for being here with us. Just as individuals that inhabit many intersecting histories and contexts in art and outside of visual art, I want to open the panel by simply asking, as artists, as performers, as just people who exist in the world, what it means to you to demand attention or to take up space, and how you do that. Anyone can dive in.
I didn't hear that. I'm kind of a bit deaf.
Okay, what does it mean to you to take up space, to demand attention in the world, and how do you do it?
To demand attention, actually, it's how you do it. You don't know that you're doing something and then you're there to you. I don't know how to do it, but it's that sometimes when someone says, "Oh, give me a candy," then, without knowing what they shove it in mouth, and put an expression of the face. I don't know how to draw attention, but this comes naturally sometimes.
Beautiful.
はい、マリアコです。私の中でのコスチュームは自分を表現するというか、私が幸せになるためのパーツであって、本当にこう人に見られるのも嬉しいけれども、自分がまず嬉しい、楽しいことが大切だと思っていつもこんな格好してます。
Yes, I'm Mariako, and the part of the costume for me is is that of course I would like to get attention from everyone else, but firstly, to wearing the costume is happiness for me to start. By the way, it's too hot, I might have to take some off.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did anyone else want to speak to that, or we can move on?
I think she stole the show.
It's true, it's true. I have a question for Crystal specifically. Crystal, I was buying cigarettes on Oxford Street on Mardi Gras night, and I heard this kind of commotion behind me, and I turned around to see you hooning down Oxford Street on your mobility scooter, and it was just, you know, this sort of wave of cheers following you, and I just wondered what that moment felt like for you, and yeah.
It was so emotional, like, you know, I've never felt like a queen, God bless her, but you know, it's like, it's coming down the street, it's like, people looking at you, they don't even know you, they're waving and screaming and wah, 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 wah. It makes me feel like, it makes me feel like a movie star, but also, you know, you don't even know the people that see something different, you know. I felt like a crystal ball just rolling down the road, and you know, everybody was screaming, and then I never felt like that. You know, I felt like when I do shows, you feel that raw, that cheer from the people, like when you're doing drag, or you know, when I do dancing and stuff, like I feel that. But when it's Mardi Gras, you can feel the sensation of the people, and it make you feel good in that sense where it was powerful. And it was like, you know, when those sort of things, you know, people they look at you and like, oh, you're beautiful. And you know, it's like the attraction that I get from the people, and you know, that was one thing about on Saturday. It was like when Mardi Gras was screaming down the road, people that you don't know, they're screaming at you and saying, oh, this wave, you know, and I feel like I'm doing a royal wave like that. And, you know, like people was calling out, and you know, I see these all these indigenous mob, Aboriginal mob, and they turned around and said, hello, and they said, auntie, they said, uncle, I'm not uncle, I'm saying auntie. But it was like, it was really good, you know, it showcased that, you know, people were at that time feeling good about the Mardi Gras. And you know, it should be like that, you know, happy.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, it's sad, sometimes some people put political things, but you know, at the end of the day, that's the attraction that you get, and you feel good about it.
Amazing. Yeah, it was such a beautiful moment, and just in terms of the themes of this panel, I thought we've got to talk about that.
Yeah.
It was beautiful to watch. For Crystal and Jens, you are both involved in the project Yangamini, presenting work at the Biennale. You also designed the unofficial Biennale Mardi Gras float, which seemed to lean into a history of kind of cheekiness and playfulness in Mardi Gras that maybe gets a bit lost in contemporary Mardi Gras. It's like where there's money involved or whatever. Can you both speak to your experiences with the Yangamini project, how it came to be, and maybe its manifestos?
So it started 2 years ago, but we're having another talk in University Gallery after, purely about the project. So
Today?
So just come, it's free today at 4 p.m.
Beautiful plug.
But we'll talk more about the flow because it's so interesting about this plot crucifix coming from the culture of shame and bribery of Teen Island. We could talk more about that later.
Yes.
But also with the banners designed by me and Nadine from our Kid Country,
because her country is also affected by the same gas project that we are protesting against. And do you want to talk about the song that is played along the whole flow?
The song that I sing was, it was about the gas, how it affects our community, and how we don't have rights to try and stop these things happening. And the song, it means like, it wasn't miserable, but it was kind of like putting a tune where we talk about how we don't have right to our own country and run sea rights, and yet, you know, the Commonwealth has more power over indigenous people, and so we try and see that, you know, if we can have power to take over our own land, and what we can do and how we can do it. But you know, the laws are different. You know, since first settlement came to Australia, it changed our law, and our law is a system that what we as indigenous people who we caretaker of our land and seas. And so with the song that I sang, it's kind of a funky and a geometry words, like it means like, you know, fuck you white people, you fuck our land, give our land back to our people, don't fuck it up like you fuck everything up. And it's all about, it's the power. And you know, it's like means you fuck up our land and shove it back up your ass and just like it means the power that we need to get back our power, but also to educate our people and the people on the land, because you know the land wasn't ours. It was here, given by Mother Nature herself, Modern Kala. We have 1.3 acres on the island. It shelters us, it feeds us, it gives us, you know, nourishment from the ground, and then we are buried back to the earth. Because you know, we try to tell big companies that, you know, these lands are here for everyone. We can share to teach our people. You know, I see that within Australia, we have rights, but the thing is that, you know, we should share the land together and to help us, not to destroy us or to destroy what Mother Nature gave us. Because, you know, at the end of the day, it's about people coming together. You know, I always say that if we want to be equal, we should be equal, not one better than the other, because, you know, we live in a land of opportunity. You know, at the end of the day, we have better laws than anywhere in the world. And you know, and we still suffer. But you know what? With the suffering, there's healing as well.
Beautiful. I'm going to jump to Xander now to ask a little bit about ballroom. So I wondered, for those unfamiliar in the audience, if you might give us a crash course in the emergence of ballroom. And then secondly, if you could similarly introduce us to the House of Silky, maybe ballroom in Australia. And the third part of the question, talk about fatherhood and getting the kids ready to walk.
I'll try and remember all of that.
Sorry.
First of all, I was jumping in here for Basha Alman, who was meant to do this panel today, but she's sick and she's a part of the House of Silky with me. So sorry if you came to see her. But ballroom is something I'm very grateful to be a part of. It was created in the late 1970s by Black and Latinx trans women in Harlem, New York. And that space was created by them for them. So it's important to always acknowledge that. Even with the global expansion of ballroom, we all are technically guests within this space. If we're not, you know, one of the girls doing this. And it was created at a point in time where there was a lot of resistance, there was a lot of legislation against trans and queer people, and there was also a lot of racism even within the queer community, where basically these trans women were going to these white drag balls and were being shaded against because of the color of their skin. So they, very famously, if you've watched Paris is Burning. It's called The Queen, actually. So if you get a chance to watch The Queen, there's a very iconic scene where Crystal LaBeija storms off the stage from Losing and goes on this very famous rant about she has a right to show her color and that the ball was rigged, and that it's very crazy to think that that moment is actually the moment that started ballroom today. She left after that and then went away and created the ballroom scene of today. So that moment is actually documented in history. Then what came after that was Paris is Burning, which is really, by that point, Crystal's work had been created and there was different houses, and Paris is Burning documented that. But it's actually The Queen is the first point if you watch that. Then over time, ballroom has expanded and it's continued to grow and it's found its way into other countries. And one of these countries is so-called Australia that I came to. And it was created and founded by Benji Ra, who some of you might know, also mother of, yes, you can give her a back, Benji Ra, that's it. Mother of House of Slay, now Juicy Couture. And she was in New York where she was taught from her trans mothers over there and then brought it to Australia here. And she started it in Western Sydney with a bunch of other POC queer and trans bodies. And it's in a very similar fashion to how it started in the New York in Harlem. It was, by these queer POC trans people in a very homophobic, transphobic area. It was built in a community, it was started in a community centre called Street Uni in Liverpool, which still today is where we now throw the West Ball in honour of that. And then it grew, and now ballroom is all over Australia in every state with different houses. I'm father of one of these houses called the House of Silky, which is one of the first houses in Australia as well, and the top house in my opinion. That can be argued, but and we created that house, myself and someone called Marisha, and it's really built to be this chosen family and safety network for queer, POC, Black, Indigenous, trans, queer people in this country. We now have 3 chapters across the country in Sydney, Melbourne and Perth, with over 25 kids within the house. And you spoke about what's my role as a father, but it's still very true in the essence of ballroom the same way it was in the 70s, in that my role is really to ensure that I'm helping these young queer and trans people build a life for themselves. We care about what they're doing on the floor, but I want to know, where do you work? Where are you sleeping tonight? Have you got food? Do you need help? It's that safety network for those who still today are being kicked out of home for being trans, or not feeling safe in spaces that at least they know that they have this chosen family that they can come to help them with whatever it is that they need. So yeah, that's more of what I want.
That's perfect. I'm going to jump to Maru now. Maru, you also have a long history sort of occupying and performing in queer subcultures, particularly in kink and latex clubs like Department H in Tokyo, and in your work with Tokyo Code Bunny. How does your performance change in that context compared to, say, a Biennale? materially.
まず東京には、私が生まれる前からアニメーション、漫画があったり、もうすでに私が生まれた時には全て可愛かったりすごかったりっていうアニメがいっぱい溢れてたんです、カラーで。でそれを見て、私も自分がそれだったんだっていうことを当たり前のように思っていて、私はアニメだし、私は漫画、私自体が漫画だと思って育って生きてきて、で私らしく生きるようなこういうスタイルになっていったら、みんなも可愛いっていうふうに言ってくれて、その可愛い文化ができたり、なんか影響というよりも私自体がもうアニメーションでみんなに見てもらうのが当たり前の世界だったので、これがすごくナチュラルな話で、ナチュラルなことで、これが普通のスタイルですね。
So when I'm growing up in Tokyo, even before I born, the animation in Japan is very, very popular, and then creating a colorful, wonderful world. And when I realized, I just think myself as I am the animation character. That's my identity to realize. Then I'm growing up to adult, and still I found myself as the animation. Therefore, I wear like this clothing, and then also, I realized that this costume makes the people happy as well, because everyone calling me kawaii, which is cute in Japanese, and then smiling and looking at me and then being happy. So this is the kind of creating my own culture, and then that's the way how I live in Tokyo.
ビエンナーレに関しては本当に自分自身のいろんな色があって、多様性が素晴らしくみんな出ていて、それぞれの自分の世界をきちんと見れて、それをまた私とかみんなが見て、またいろんな旅ができて、とってもなんていうの、多様性のスタイルがとても素晴らしいと思います。
So the Minari, my artwork there in the art gallery of New South Wales, you can see that it's all different part of me is displayed on the wall. And then also you can see as a human being, there's lots of different kind of or types of people on the wall. So I would like myself to be one of those. I've always been one of those, but I'm hoping some other people can be one of those characters as well at the art gallery.
Beautiful. I checked the work out this morning, and yeah, it's really beautiful if you get the chance to go and have a look. Sorry.
SNW ミュージアムの壁に影を描いたのも、多分みんな自分のことをもっとよく知って、いろんな旅をできるように導けるようなスタイルがしたかった。
Yes, it was a shadow in a dark color black rather than a color. That means because it's a shadow, it's easier for everyone to be in one of the shadow rather than with the color, and that's all one of the reasons why I use the shadow rather than the actual colorful character.
I see, beautiful. So it's like you're casting the shadow. Thank you. We have this incredibly rich history of punk and crude adornment in this city in particular. Black and trans heroes, club kids, drag performers, fashion designers, even just activists printing t-shirts is part of a really rich material culture of resistance and claiming attention, claiming focus. Many have worked to push the envelope of the ways the human body is read and understood, and I want to summon briefly the ghost